Wendy's announced that they were going to do surge pricing based on the demand at Wendy's at a given moment. The price of a hamburger would cost higher or lower. From what I gather is someone that drives around a lot, In-N-Out is the only place that could do this.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out. Fine. Those two venues, every time you drive by, unbelievable line. My kids love In-N-Out. We are in an In-N-Out line every other week. 30, 40 minutes. If I could pay double, triple, and get the fuck out, it's so cheap as it is.
Why don't you just go in? You know, there's no line inside.
No, but it still takes 20 minutes. It's not fast. I actually like surge pricing for certain businesses. I think it's a very interesting thing. Like, I think it should be at Cheesecake Factory. You get to cut the line if you're willing to pay surge pricing.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
That's how I think you actually have to do it. All right, Cathies, we are back with another episode of Group Chat.
What'd you just say?
Group Chat.
No. Before we start recording.
Cathies?
No.
About what story?
Yeah.
Well, there's some hot tea that's being spilled this morning. I'm sure last week, I think there was a discussion and a lawsuit around that was it a former employee or former associate of Diddy's, a male associate, accused him of sexual assault and amongst other things, like a lot of things.
It seems like he's been involved with that for a while now.
Yeah. So that news came out. Then there's the lawsuit that got filed. There's testimonies. There's all kinds of things that's now getting released. This morning, the internet finds out that there is accusations that Diddy had relations with a certain Super Bowl singer and the person that dated Nicki Minaj. That is how it was.
So how did that get leaked? Because I obviously saw the tweets. I saw it was trending.
I didn't follow the root of the problem because the story is so good. It doesn't really matter how it got leaked. It's unbelievable content. So Diddy is being accused of basically hooking up with Meek Mill and Usher. I'm going to pause there. All these people that we've, been following and listened to our whole life, it's not to me about the sexual preferences. I don't care about that. It is more of like, these were all rumors that the industry has had for a very, very long time. That all of these people are just fucking each other.
I think it started with Will Smith and then it graduated to Diddy. But I hadn't heard Meek Mill and Usher till today.
Yeah. It's Meek Mill just tweeted something. DJ Academics, keep my name out of your mouth next time I see you, blah, 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 blah.
I mean, he shouldn't be doing that.
He is the king of Twitter fingers. This guy is unbelievable that he cannot why would you go on Twitter and say anything?
And think about if you're Meek Mill, you got out of prison because Michael Rubin, billionaire, and Robert Kraft basically made it their mission to get you out of jail.
Yeah.
Why are you threatening anyone?
Yeah, I still whatever. I don't mind the threat.
You don't?
No.
Someone that was...
I think it's incredible for content. You should threaten.
Okay, so
I just think the funny thing is that he's doing it on Twitter. That's the funnier part to me. X, sorry. But I can't believe, I know people are just going to gloss over this, but if you listen to hip hop, grew up on hip hop, P. Diddy is looking up at Meek Mill and Usher. I mean, this is like the Alex Jones type conspiracies in the entertainment industry where everyone's referencing a video Kanye did, I think on Drink Champs, where he basically said this is what's going on. in behind the scenes with guys like Diddy and people like that. And
Yeah, this is Epstein Island for hip hop. But no underage girls, obviously, and like
that's
nothing.
a big difference. Epstein Island is a harsh one.
Nothing
I think it's
criminal.
more of like, it's in that world. But what the funny thing is the comments are all like jokes. No one's actually shocked.
I think at this point we're so far removed because 50 Cent has been accusing Diddy of engaging in this behavior for a while, and there's no problem if you do it legally.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, he didn't illegally bone Meek Mill.
But my point is
That was consensual.
this has been rumored for years.
Yeah.
And now the truth is just slowly coming out, trickling.
Obviously everyone's going to deny it. But it is just, I just like when I read that, at first I just kind of glossed over. Then I'm like, I'm just going to soak it in for a second to think, like, basically in Hollywood, which is what most of America thinks, everyone's fucking each other.
And they're right.
Yes. And that's what's happening.
Yes. Male, female, female, male, whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's all happening. And I think,
how does it work? Is it just basically like you're on the cusp of stardom?
what do you mean?
There's a door. There's a door that comes. There's someone that shows up and says, look, see those two right there? Handle your business and we'll give you the keys to the kingdom.
I think it's pretty similar to what you just described.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we know of stories where,
Yeah.
these certain powerful people
Yeah.
have approached people we know.
No. Yeah, I think I mean, it's just, to me, it's just insane that this is happening. I actually think because of the sexual assault stuff, this guy's going to jail. I don't think he's getting off.
I think he's like I think he's a new age Bill Cosby.
Yeah, I think he's so high profile and now people are coming out.
And he's also been, conducting assault for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like the number of stories are
He's
out of
been assaulting people.
Yeah, it's not like this is new.
Yeah. I just, the assault stuff, I really think that's going to put him in jail. I don't think he's going to get off on this.
I don't think so either. I think it'll just take time.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's going to take years.
Yeah, it'll take years, but we haven't heard from him. We haven't seen from him. I mean, I opened TikTok. The first thing I got served was 50 Cent on Breakfast Club.
Talking about this?
Yes.
I mean, as far as hip hop content goes, I don't think you could top this.
And it's also interesting that Drake has removed himself from all of hip hop. You don't see him really hanging out with anyone else but like Chubbs,
His
Future the
team.
Prince, his crew, and that's it. You don't see him doing. I mean, he's been around since 2008. It's a long time.
I think one is the way he knows how to like navigate socially. I think that part's important. I think a lot of the celebrity interactions in Hollywood, not just rap or music in general, in Hollywood, are very like contrived.
For sure.
They're done for publicity.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to do that, right? Like he has.
But he didn't do it ever.
Yeah. Well, he used to be out in the clubs,
I mean, a little bit, but he wasn't trying to have celebrity friendships.
Yeah.
Athletes. He loved Durant. He loved Steph, LeBron.
Johnny Manziel.
He's a big sports guy.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is. He's like, these people, have a skill that I do not have.
Right.
So I admire it and I don't mind being friends with those people. But either way, like I wanted to actually open with Bitcoin and then it just really just struck me. I was like, so P. Diddy, Meek Mill and Usher, what is that, a throuple? What is going on here?
Yeah, I mean,
I want to know what like a middle-aged...
So hold on, D. We've been in this scene for 20 years.
Yeah.
Does any of it surprise you?
No, that's. I don't think it surprised anyone. It was everyone just had the funniest memes that I was sending a few in our chat. And They're so funny. But if you want a good laugh, if you're having a bad day, go to X, search Diddy, and you might cry laughing for hours. It is literally the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, no one's surprised by any of it.
Yeah, that's to me what's continuing to be scary is that nothing surprises us about everything. There's an investigation the Pentagon is launching about Ukrainian aid. Is that surprising to anyone? About like where the money got spent?
Well, there's no accounting on it, right?
Yeah. But it's just like there's a lot of good memes on that one too, of like Deloitte and Touche coming to do the auditing, and I think that's we as society have come to a point where
we've broken society and the respect that.
What was the last piece of news that we got that shocked us?
I think COVID.
No. I'm saying like recent, last couple months. Honestly, in LA, I think the most shocking thing was the rain.
Rain was shocking.
For LA, that was shocking. Like that was shock. What else happened recently? What am I missing? Something has happened.
The bridge that burnt down, the highway
in LA.
Yeah.
Yes, that was big. That had like what happened? You know, like Kobe dying in the helicopter. Shocking.
That was pre-COVID.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, what are news events where everyone's like,
what are news events that people aren't going to make memes of? That's actually a better question because everything's a joke now.
Yeah. The worst shit's happening. There's jokes. Nothing. I think death is the one thing people are kind of, depending on who it is, I think generally you stay away from death. Because think about this. SBF, committed like the worst fraud ever. This guy is memed for life. Yeah. That picture of him in prison is literally a meme for everything.
Yeah, he's trying to get a shorter sentence now.
Yeah. I just can't. Yeah, I'm just blown away at it. All right, we'll talk about your favorite topic, Bitcoin.
Yeah, let's go.
Bitcoin ETF momentum has hit. Mm-hmm. It's up like what, 40% since year to date?
Yeah, so I think when BlackRock announced that they were going to apply for an ETF, Bitcoin was at like 35,000. So now we're at like...
That was last year, right?
3 months ago.
Okay.
So maybe end of last year. But that was when it was like very clear. And I said on this podcast,
they were
this is not financial advice. This is the most obvious trade of your life.
Yeah.
Buy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And now we're at like 61, 62K, depending on the hour you check.
Yeah.
And, similar to what I said 4 months ago, it's just a funds flow issue. When you have this much money that wants to...
And a finite supply.
Wants this asset, and there's a finite supply.
It's
like
only
the one thing's going to go up.
It's like NVIDIA stock. You want exposure to AI. Yeah. Where else are you going to get it? You have to buy the fucking stock.
Yeah.
If you're Joe Public or even a hedge fund, you want exposure to AI. We know it's coming. What is the safest bet?
And can I give my next prediction?
Yes.
This is not financial advice.
Okay.
Ethereum. The ETF's coming.
Well, it's already, I think that one they figured out. It's up even more. It's up like 50%.
It's not double.
Yeah.
This is so obvious.
Yeah.
The Ethereum ETF's coming by like May, I think.
Yeah.
Is what people are applying for.
Yeah.
We just saw this 4 months ago. This is like the Warren Buffett type investing.
It's obvious.
It's so obvious.
Everything.
It's in your face.
Yeah. If you get too cute with investing, you don't make money.
Think about Warren Buffett. Remember, he's like, oh, railroads are monopolized by one company.
And they're never going to build more.
What should I do?
Yeah.
Buy a railroad company.
Yeah.
Oh, Apple. They sell a lot of phones.
Yeah.
What should I do?
Yeah.
Buy Apple.
Yeah.
This isn't that hard.
Yeah, I don't think like Berkshire Hathaway's research team is like it's like three dudes. They're like, hey, Warren, you eat McDonald's the other day? You see how damn fucking good that thing was? How long did you wait in line? 15 minutes? How many do they have? 100,000? Great.
Yeah.
I think that's the analysis of Berkshire Hathaway.
And it works.
Yes.
And it's going to work for Ethereum. This is not financial advice. Ethereum's going to double.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's all the obvious stuff is I've learned from investing. It's just the obvious. Don't be cute. Like everyone was clowning Nancy Pelosi when she bought call options of NVIDIA in January. And she's up like fucking.
And Palo Alto Network.
Yeah.
She's crushing.
And she made another trade too the other day. I'm only following her. So
there's two.
There's some defense thing too. I think
there's two meme trades, right? So there's the Nancy Pelosi long, and the inverse Kramer.
Kramer's wrong on everything. He said to get out of NVIDIA. He said Bitcoin
in January.
Yeah, and there's another company I think he said to get out of. The guy had no idea what he's talking about.
And Kathy Wood, she sold Coinbase at like $80-$90.
Yeah,
she lost all her investors' money.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and she I think she missed Bitcoin completely.
Missed Bitcoin, missed NVIDIA, missed crypto.
Oh, yeah, she missed NVIDIA too.
Yes.
She sold NVIDIA in the summer, I think the summer before the rally. And then I think the things that I'm now looking for, because it's quite fascinating, Tesla still has a shitload of Bitcoin on their balance sheet.
Mm-hmm.
El Salvador is the hottest place on earth.
Yes.
This guy jailed all the criminals. He then put the country's entire balance sheet on fucking Bitcoin. And the thing, I don't know what his average price was.
It's probably in the 30s.
30s, 40s, whatever it was.
Doesn't matter. He's up.
He's way up. I mean,
what about Sailor?
What? MicroStrategy. That guy was buying last week. It's pretty amazing. These like couple like interesting pockets of,
but it also
happening.
Like serves to, I think, anyone who's investing in anything, you have to have, even in this like super volatile world, you have to have somewhat of a long-term view.
Yeah.
So crypto went down in 21 from 67,000. Bitcoin went 67,000 down to 16 or 15.
Yeah.
And everyone panicked, sold, and they lost their shorts.
So I think you have to caveat it. You can have a long-term view. That's fine. There's most of crypto has not come back. It's just Bitcoin and Ethereum are coming back.
Yeah. The altcoins.
Some of them have come back, like the Solanas and stuff like that. But a lot of those altcoins have still not come back.
But they were also, you know, if anyone followed the space, knew not to invest in that stuff. But to the larger point, it takes courage to make money if you want to be an investor.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be an investor, just put your money in S&P 500, put it in QQQ, NASDAQ, and just call it a day. But if you think you're going to have these outsized returns, it takes a lot of like gravitas to like withstand all these down. Like, for example, 9 a.m. today, Coinbase, everyone's balance was zero. Yeah. And people were panicking. But it was obvious that, look, it's a technical issue, traffic, whatever
But that's the positive view. It's unacceptable in my opinion.
I agree. They should they should not crash at this point. They're a big enough company.
Because we know last time Robinhood crashed, the games were played. And now, so our friend in our text was saying, oh, they Coinbase purposely.
I saw the text, but I'll give you the counter.
Yeah.
Because what happened with GameStop is Citadel gave $3 billion and Steve Cohen gave $3 billion to Melvin to bail him out, which they were short GameStop. And Robinhood's biggest customer is Citadel.
Yeah.
So you can like tie the pieces together.
I know, but we don't know all the pieces. When the Coinbase movie comes out, we'll know why.
What's the Coinbase movie?
Why did
they want more volume? That's all they want.
They may have made a buy.
You think the firm made a buy?
Individuals could have.
No.
You're telling me this so-called world-class tech company fucking counts just froze?
I think it was... Yeah.
No, I think they've had higher volume. The peak of the fuckery was way higher volume than it is right now. I'm calling funny business.
I would win either way. So I hope Coinbase bought a bunch of Bitcoin and the stock goes up.
I think they did it for their benefit. I think there's funny business.
I don't think there's funny business because there's no counterparty that benefits
themselves.
Because the counterparty in the Robinhood story is Citadel and Melvin.
I believe every conspiracy.
That's fine.
All right, moving on. Not so good news. So we talked about these companies when they started launching, and at first they were very fascinating to me. And this is the Amazon aggregator business. And Thrasio was a company that was the original Amazon aggregator. I am extremely deep in Amazon land. I work with some of the biggest Amazon sellers. I know the space very well. This idea always struck me as something that could not work. And the main reason why, so just for people to know, Thrasio was a venture-backed company that raised billions of dollars and today filed for bankruptcy. All in a span of, I think, 5 years. And
They were a COVID boom company.
yeah,
Everyone wanted to back them. The CEO was on every investing podcast that you could think of.
yeah. Once your CEO is on too many podcasts, time to pull the plug. That's why I don't go on other podcasts.
Invest Like the Best might be the inverse Kramer. If you think about who's been on that podcast.
Here's let's talk about Thrasio, but on that topic, I think if you're a founder and you need to get press for your business, make sure make sure there's a real reason that you're trying to get press, and it's not for your ego. Because most of the times the CEO that goes on every single thing is purely for ego reasons, not actually to help the business. Like, I don't know if going on Invest Like the Best helped Thrasio with their business. I just don't believe
they went
that.
bankrupt.
So
we know the answer.
What?
They went bankrupt.
Yes. But
so we know the answer. It didn't help them.
It didn't help them. But I'm saying, there's very few reasons to do press unless you're going public. If you're going public, I get it. You got to increase awareness of the stock and what you're about to do. But in Thrasio's case, what an Amazon aggregator did was look for people that were selling like widgets on Amazon and basically buy them at very cheap prices. So like, let's say you do $1 million a year, you spit out $100,000 of profit. Maybe they'll give you $200,000 for the business, $300,000 for the business. So they started buying up all these people that sell widgets on Amazon. So it's a novel idea, and I actually think it could work. The problem is they were making assumptions that there would be some cost synergies and, all of these assumptions around like you can aggregate thousands of these and do billions of dollars. The thing about working with Amazon is not an easy platform to work with. They only care about themselves. They shut down listings constantly. They shut down sellers constantly. It is a very tough ecosystem to be successful in. And particularly what I've noticed is what they bought are not branded goods. This is literally someone selling a widget, like a tweezer that's not branded, right? And so unfortunately, when the customer gets soft, they trade out of like those types of things and they go to like branded goods, or they go to, because the branded goods now are on sale.
What do you think Temu had to do with this? Because I looked at the top apps today.
Yeah.
And Temu still won.
Temu is...
That's widgets, right?
No, Temu's clothes. It's everything.
But it's everything.
Yeah, it's dollar store junk. I think all of the e-commerce and all the brick and mortar retailers that have that price point, call it sub $10, Temu is kicking their ass. 100% of them.
You said tweezers, so that's why I said Temu.
I would, if you're going to buy tweezers, I think Temu is a good place to buy them. So I do, but this company was already on their way to bankruptcy pre-Temu. A year ago, they were already toast. I think now it just crystallized and it's over. But it goes back to telling that like the direct-to-consumer craze, the Thrasio craze, only thing that matters is that you have a brand that the consumer likes. Though that's very valuable. Just selling widgets doesn't work. If you don't have a brand in the product categories that you are, then you have to keep spending money to sell your product.
So then you're short Shein and Temu because they have no brand.
No, but they're playing price. It's very different, right? Like they're going for the cheapest, they're going for the scale, and then the variety. Where else can you get? It's like a zoo. You can see a zebra, a lion, a monkey. Where else can you see all these things? It's a very different thing. But like, I think it's more a testament to seeing how many people backed Amazon aggregators. They raised billions in cash and billions in debt. They raised both. And
he had to shave $495 million in debt. So how much debt did he have? He raised $3.4 billion in cash.
Yeah. The idea at that point was that the debt was.
I don't know actually the story, but I wonder if he took secondary and he's fine, or I assume he did because it was a hot COVID business.
Yeah.
He's probably fine.
What?
The founder's probably fine.
Yeah, I'm sure. When you raise that much money, you know how much secondary?
$200 million.
Yeah, easily. Not 200 million, but he's fine.
See him in Palm Beach.
For sure. Why not? Be rich. Go hang out with Diddy.
Depends on your preference.
All right. The Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund strikes again.
Mm-hmm.
They are now partnering with the men's tennis tour. I think this was being rumored already, so I don't think it's completely new news. But fuck, it works. Like the formula they are doing, in my opinion, when it comes to sports, is a good formula. It's going to bring the tour to the region. It probably will give it the funds to make tennis cool again. Because like the real problem with tennis, to me, is a similar thing to golf. Golf was really driven by Tiger Woods for the last 20 years. Tennis, unfortunately, has not had a big American star.
I would say even if you
Venus and Serena, American, and that was like 5 years ago.
No, but the three stars that resonate with Americans are pretty much done, right? So Federer retired.
Yeah.
Nadal's probably a year out.
Yeah.
Djokovic may play another 3 years.
Yeah.
So you have these three stars. And there hasn't, Alcaraz is the only star that could potentially build
and
a
even
sport.
During the Federer Nadal peak, the ratings in America were not good.
Not in America. Globally, they were stars.
No, they're huge stars. But I'm saying ultimately for Saudis to make money here, you have to be big in America. You have like it when Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi peak, tennis in America was so fucking big. Like the whole country was watching US Open.
You know what's funny? Djokovic posted this, and I thought this was hysterical. This is like 3 days ago. So Indian Wells is one of the big tournaments on the tour. It starts, I think, March 6th or whatever, next week. Djokovic and Nadal randomly are on the same flight. They're on a commercial flight.
Yeah.
The two biggest stars. You think Tom Brady, LeBron, Tiger, Patrick Mahomes are flying commercial flights?
How much money do they make?
So they probably make 20, 30 million on the tour, but probably another 30, 40 off the tour.
Do they though?
Yeah, those guys do. Only the three guys.
Yeah.
Not anyone else.
No one else is making money.
No. But like no sponsors, like, hey, here's the Global Express.
Yeah.
Don't. They're literally sitting next to like some old guy with headphones on in a business class seat.
From where to where?
It was unclear. It was definitely a European city to U.S. Because they're coming to U.S. because Indian Wells is next week.
They may be afraid of flying private.
Both of them?
Yeah. I think they're afraid of private jets.
I mean, Kelsey was all around the world in the last 7 days.
Kelsey has a very rich girlfriend. Very different. His girlfriend can't afford to fly him private. Because Kelsey can't afford to fly private.
No.
Yeah. I like it. I like the humbleness.
I mean, I just thought it was funny because I don't think any other sport would let their biggest stars fly commercial. Because Phil Mickelson doesn't. Tiger doesn't.
Those guys make a lot more money.
But the sponsors pay for it.
I'm telling you, those guys have no influence on purchasing. That's why. They're not important culturally at all. Zero.
I can't imagine Federer is just like boarding an Emirates flight.
Federer is different. Federer had influence. Federer had on his Rolex deal. Like Federer has serious influence. I don't think those two do.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. That's the problem with the sport. You need. I'm sorry. Like,
because they're two of the three greatest players of all time.
yeah.
They're the three best players of all time. Federer, Djokovic, Nadal.
Yeah, and people always use this example of like soccer's the
like
biggest.
Shohei Ohtani isn't boarding a Delta flight from Tokyo to LA.
No, he's like a national treasure, right? It's very different. Like people in Japan and America view him as a national treasure. The difference that you have to remember is like a lot of these, it really stems from money. Cause like even in soccer, like people always say soccer is the biggest sport in the world. Soccer is the biggest sport in the world. The Jaguars are worth more than almost every soccer team in the world.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a couple teams that are worth a fortune.
Sure.
$7-8 billion. But like the Jaguars, more
Jaguars
people would
are probably
rather
worth-
own the Jaguars than most English Premier League teams.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, like I forgot wasn't Man United up for sale or one of those, Liverpool, whatever. The number was not as staggering considering the following of those teams.
The Broncos sold for $5.5 billion 18 months ago.
Check what the value of soccer teams are, Josh. Because like, I think it just shows. And think about NFL. Literally only even people in America watch.
Yes.
0 people watch it outside of America. No. Tennis, if I'm the Saudis, if you want to make money on this return, do you know what you would do? I'm going to give my advice to the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund. I would come to America, scouring middle schools and high schools for the most athletic fucking kids at each of these schools. Pay them each $1 million a year and say, start playing tennis.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you need an American star. It won't matter if it's a Chinese star, an Arab star, an Italian star. You need a good old American.
You basically need to go to the AU tournament of like 12-year-olds.
12-year-olds and say like, put
hey,
that fucking ball down.
Put the ball down.
Yes.
Here's $1 million a year, family.
Yeah.
Start training in tennis.
If you see,
one of my close friends, dad, Coach Federer, Sampras, Courier, all these guys.
Yeah. What was his name again?
Jose Higueras.
Yeah.
He would go to like a Laker game and said, God damn, if I had Dwayne Wade or Chris Paul to train, America would be back.
Yeah. A real athlete.
Because he's like, their footwork.
Oh, their footwork's unbelievable for basketball
their agility.
Players. Yeah.
Their ability to move on. He goes,
and they're tall.
They're tall.
Because you need to be tall.
He's like, you could teach them to swing the ball, but they have the stuff that you can't teach.
Yeah, just a natural, God-given
athletic ability.
So that's my advice to the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund is literally go to like the top areas of athletes in the country, just start paying them. Look, you're going to spend billions of dollars on this. Spend 25, 50 million a year converting kids to stop playing basketball.
It's funny because I think in the Middle East, they have a complete obsession with like Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic.
Yeah.
So is this just the obsession? Because there isn't a next crop. You have Alcaraz and that's it. The next guys aren't that famous.
Yeah.
So are they just trying to like hang on, or is this like a larger play of trying to just keep influencing culture?
No, I mean, this is the large play on influencing culture. They know they can't get an NFL team.
Yeah, they can't. I was told this story, and Larry Ellison owns Indian Wells.
Yeah.
It's his tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously he doesn't need money.
Yeah.
He's worth, whatever, tens
$50 billion,
whatever he's worth. He's selling the tournament.
Wow.
Because he loved being around Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer.
And now they're not here.
They're not going to be there anymore.
Yeah.
So he's selling. He's like, I'm fucking bored.
I don't give a shit. Yeah, I'm telling you, I think the move, you got to get American tennis back. This investment is worth 100x. If you have 2 American men, 2 American women, they're at the top of tennis.
Yeah, if Tiafoe was actually the real deal.
Yeah.
US Open, he gets to like the round of 16 and the place is going nuts.
Nuts. Yeah. It's like America's back and he's not winning the tournament. That's what I'm saying. Like, and
when he plays, Jay-Z shows up, Beyonce shows up, Michelle Obama shows up.
Yeah, everyone shows up. That's what I'm saying. You're a couple players. You just need one one superstar.
You have to go to like Sierra Canyon or Campbell Hall.
Yeah.
12-year-old, pick up a racket.
Just be like, we will give you, even if you don't make it, we'll pay you the money.
Yeah. That's the only way. Because I see all these like TikTok clips of these high school games.
They're so
Everyone dunks.
Yeah, they're so good. I watch all those TikTok clips. Those kids are so good. They're like,
and they're not
the best 13-year-old in America.
And make it.
What?
They're not going to make it.
None of them will.
None of them will.
You saw Baby Gronk? He gave up.
I saw you said that.
Baby Gronk gave up football. Said it's not fun anymore.
He's a 5th grader.
Yeah. Poor guy.
But he's not Gronk's kid.
No.
He's just considered
But,
Baby Gronk.
he became an internet sensation. And poor guy gave up.
Yeah, I think
it's too much. The other problem is you don't need to be playing basketball at 11 years old, 6 hours a day. You just fucking don't.
Yeah, there's this whole argument about how youth basketball works and why the Europeans are crushing us because they play 7 games a weekend.
And you're burnt out.
And then the European kids are just practicing.
Yeah.
And then they come, Luka, Jokic, Giannis, Embiid. They just all come and crush everyone.
You don't need to play at fucking 12 years old like you're in the NBA. You just don't. It's just,
but it's a money grab. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, now
they're taxing the parents.
Yeah.
Because everyone's paying.
Yeah.
Because like those 7 games aren't free.
No, the games are not free. You got to go buy shoes. You got to go buy clothes,
new uniforms.
Yeah. It's such a hustle.
I think youth sports in America are in a tough spot because if you look at
I think it's
outside NFL, every other sport is non-American that are the stars.
Yeah, I agree with that. But youth sports is bigger than ever in America.
It's a bigger money grab for sure, but it's producing less professional athletes.
Yes. Well, I mean,
outside NFL.
I would argue that the rest of the world caught up in terms of like basketball is an American sport, right? So the fact that the rest of the world started playing it makes sense that it's global superstars now coming to the
Dream
sport.
Team fucked us. Got the whole world to watch.
It's like, yeah, fuck these guys. We're gonna beat them. But yeah, so we'll see. But I'm optimistic that youth sports will still be bigger than ever because there's just it's like.
So your Dom's what, 6?
6.
Are their parents thinking their kid is like the one?
At 6 now.
You think it's at 8? It's not later than 8.
I don't know. I don't know any 8-year-olds.
I feel like by 8, parents are thinking their kid's making it.
I think
even though they have no shot.
I think
which
at
to be
8
very
or
clear,
9,
they have no shot.
Yeah. I think at 8 or 9, they're like, okay, this kid is good. Let's put some resources behind him and see, or her, and see if it's worth. I think the biggest problem with youth sports and why the American kids is I think it's burnout. You don't need to play that much.
Yeah.
You just don't. Like if one thing I really enjoyed about the movie about Serena and Venus's dad, Richard. What's the name of the movie?
King Richard.
King Richard. That he, he obviously he took his kids to Florida for that. Nick Bollettieri Tennis Academy, but he was very anti them playing tournaments. He just wanted them to practice, and that's it. And then he's like, when the time is right, they'll play. They don't need to be playing every weekend in tournaments because I think also losing at a young age has a very big mental impact on how you view yourself and the sport itself. You have to be at a certain age where you can mentally accept taking a beating.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that's one call out. And 2, I think just playing so much, you get burnt out.
Think about the IMG Academy down in Florida. They haven't produced anyone.
No one. Some basketball players you see,
but no stars.
Yeah.
No one at the NBA All-Star game was at IMG Academy.
Yeah. I think
think about how much money is fused into the IMG Academy down in Florida. Like you basically get taken at 12 and say like, you need to be a tennis player.
I wonder in soccer if those youth, like, do you know how all the teams have
I think it works internationally.
Yeah.
Because they take them out of school.
Yeah. You just
baseball too.
Yeah.
In Dominican. You don't go to school.
Yeah. All right. Okay, on to what I think could be the dumbest fucking idea I've heard all year. I know it's very early in the year, but this is the dumbest fucking idea I've heard. Wendy's announced yesterday that they were going to do surge pricing. What that means is based on the demand at Wendy's at a given moment, the price of a hamburger would cost higher or lower. First of all, I've actually never eaten at a Wendy's, and obviously being a vegetarian, there's no reason for me to go there. From what I gather as someone that drives around a lot, In-N-Out is the only place that could do this.
Yeah.
In-N-Out,
And Chick-fil-A.
What?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out. Fine. Those two venues, every time you drive by, unbelievable line. So my kids love In-N-Out. We are in an In-N-Out line every other week, right? 30, 40 minutes. If I could pay double, triple, and get the fuck out, it's so cheap as
But why
it
don't
is.
you just go in? You know, there's no line inside.
No, but it still takes 20 minutes. It's not fast. You know, we're eating at regular, like prime time times. It's just too busy. But I think the point is that like, I actually like surge pricing for certain businesses. I think it's a very interesting thing. Like, I think it should be at Cheesecake Factory. I think, but it's not, everyone pays surge pricing. You get to cut the line if you're willing to pay surge pricing. That's how I think you actually have to do it. For In-N-Out, hey, this is the line. Get in line. If you want to pay triple, we have a line for you.
But don't you think the concept makes sense? It just probably doesn't apply to Wendy's because they don't have a line.
That's what I agree. I think the ego of Wendy's to think
It could be just some like Harvard Business School analyst saying like, hey, we should do this.
yeah, some schmuck from MBA PE guy said like, oh, you know how we can maximize? You know, at lunchtime, if we charge $6 for a burger instead of $4.
Yeah, it's just not applicable to Wendy's.
Here's the other thing I would say as just like a common sense advice on rolling something out in a very large business. Why don't you test it in a location? And the day you announce it and say, we tested in our number one location for the last 3 weeks. And we were surprised to find that customers were willing to pay it for this product during these times. Instead of just launching it and saying, fuck it,
Could it just be a marketing ploy? Because they have been the talk of social media the last 24 hours. People that never had Wendy's on their mind now are like, oh, maybe I should go to a Wendy's. Even though the product is stupid for their business.
They obviously withdrew today. The CEO made a statement and said, we're never going to raise our prices. You know, realize this was backlash.
Got it. So you don't even think it's a fake. You don't think it could be a
I
fake
think they
marketing
fucked
ploy?
up. They thought it was a good idea. All right. Moving on. Airline baggage fees. So this is really fascinating. I fly Delta. I have diamond status on Delta, which basically means nothing, just to make it clear.
You still have to buy a business class seat. No one's upgrading you.
Yeah, and the only advantage is you get free bags. I don't know what's
check-in bags.
Check-in bags.
But you're flying business, so it's free anyways.
Even if I were to fly coach.
Okay.
You know, when I fly coach, it also is applicable where, you know, you get to check in a bag for free if you need to check in bags. I think you get that at pretty low status too. I think you get it at gold even. I had to fly like an airline I normally don't fly recently. I was flying coach. I had to check a bag and I had to pay for the baggage fee. I think it was like United. I could not believe I think they charged $35 to check in a bag. $35 fucking dollars.
Well, now it's more. You saw the price.
And now they're raising the prices to check bags. Here's my biggest takeaway from just the travel industry at large at the moment. There's so much demand for travel. America is out there. Because of that, I think airlines have realized it doesn't fucking matter what the cost is. So $35 if you pay in advance, $40 if you purchase at the airport for American Airlines now. They used to charge $30 for their service. They say it costs cheaper when you book in advance because they get to allocate, they know how to handle the incoming bags that are coming. I'm calling complete bullshit on that. They're not doing any of that shit. I think they just know it's a money operation. The other is Wi-Fi on planes. On my international flight, it was $59.
Check in?
No, for Wi-Fi.
Oh, for Wi-Fi is $59?
$59. On Delta, on domestic flights, it's $29.
And it's not even good.
It barely works.
Why isn't Starlink getting every contract?
I'm sure there's like legacy deals with.
So Starlink, I know, does JSX.
Yeah.
And then they got Hawaiian Airlines.
Yeah, Hawaiian they did, yeah. I think they'll slowly
Starlink is unbelievable.
Yeah.
If you've ever been on a plane with Starlink, you can stream YouTube, TikTok,
Oh my God.
Instagram. You can do whatever you want. Movies, Netflix.
Wow. Is it free though?
On JSX it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Hawaiian, I'm sure they'll
charge.
charge.
All right.
I mean, if you're going to charge $59, at least make the internet work.
Yeah.
Because I bet you Elon will get you a better contract than whoever is providing.
Yeah,
the
he could
Wi-Fi.
beat you on price. That's not going to be a problem. And I'm sure they've been.
I mean, it's all in space.
Yeah. I think all the internet is coming from space, from what I gather. All right, moving on. Some business news. Macy's is closing 150 stores.
Which is what, 30% of their stores?
30% of their stores over the next 3 years. They plan to close at least 50 this year. This was part of their earnings call that just came out, where
Shouldn't they close 100% of their stores?
Huh?
They should probably close 100% of their stores.
Well, look, Q4 net sales declined, right? 1.7%. But just keep in mind, they did 8.1 billion.
I agree, but it's 8.1 billion going to 7.5 to 7.1 to 6.4. You know, so it's just a slow death.
They're opening 15 more Bloomingdale stores.
I'm surprised those are working.
It's high end. Everything high end works.
But it's not that high end, is it?
No, but they have good
it's
stuff.
It's like medium luxury.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's luxury at all. It's not Neiman Marcus, but it's good shit. Like good brands. 30 more Blue Mercury stores, which is their cosmetics business, and 30 small format off mall stores. So they're still opening stores. I don't know. I mean, like, the stock is obviously worthless. People value the real estate more than the company.
Which they have been for years.
Yeah. People say the real estate's worth 7.5 to 10 billion. The stock is basically trading at $5 billion.
I'm shocked a private equity company has
They
just
tried. They
bought
had a
it.
bid at 5.8, got rejected.
Yeah. Weird. I mean, the retail is just a race to zero.
Their business, I don't know why they haven't evolved. Like TJ Maxx is in the brick and mortar business. They had a record high.
I know you're in the world. Walking to Macy's is scary.
Yeah, it's bad. The merchandising is horrible.
The experience is horrible. Everything's horrible.
Yeah. They don't even have the brands.
Like you walk into Aloe and you're like, this is a cool experience.
Yeah.
You get why Aloe works.
Yeah. I'll counter it that I don't think the experience matters. I think the product matters. TJ Maxx is not like an Aloe experience.
But you know what you're getting at TJ
You get
Maxx.
value.
Yeah.
You get great value. You get great
It's
brands.
also like, you've also talked about this before, that it's the treasure hunt.
Yeah. It's fun.
Where you're like, oh, wow, I found this Nike tee that
Yeah.
I didn't think I would get.
Yeah. It's fucked. You know, you're probably right. It's a slow death. They just have to keep slowly grinding it out. All right. This is probably the most exciting news of the day. Klarna announced some very interesting information yesterday. And that is that using an AI assistant, they have drastically reduced their costs associated with customer service. So the stats that were shared is that the AI assistant has had 2.3 million conversations, 2/3 of Klarna's customer service chats. It's doing the equivalent work of 700 full-time agents. It's on par with human agents in regards to customer satisfaction. It is more accurate in errands resolution, leading to a 25% drop in repeat inquiries. Customers now resolve their errands in less than 2 minutes compared to 11 minutes previously. It is estimated to drive a $40 million profit improvement to Klarna in 2024. One, this shit's already been around. So it's not new. AI bots for customer service.
I mean, our cousin has a
company.
company
5 years ago.
10 years ago.
10 years ago. So I'm shocked. I think the hype of AI made companies realize that we should probably look into this.
I think it's a few things. I've listened to a handful of earnings calls in the last couple of weeks, and everyone is forced to do a 2-minute spiel on AI.
Yeah, like,
regardless if it applies to their business or not. It doesn't matter. If you're not saying AI and if you're not talking about how it could potentially apply to your business or how it can apply to your business in the future, people just don't want to reward you.
yeah, I agree. And I think it's very similar to AI is the new what layoffs were last year. As long as you said you're slicing 10% of your company, your stock went up.
Yeah. Now it's like, hey, here are 10 things I can do with AI in our company, and here's how it's going to reduce costs in the next 12 months. And whether it matters,
it does not matter.
Whether it actually happens or not,
it does not matter. It does fucking not matter.
And your stock goes up 10%.
Yeah.
Klarna's going to get out. What, $20 billion IPO? That's what they're talking?
20?
Yeah.
Wow. I think we got marked down to like 5 billion. It was down to 5 billion.
Yeah, Klarna's in talks with banks valuing an IPO at $20 billion.
I think they wrote down to 5 to 6 billion. Speaking of the IPO market, what the hell happened to Stripe? I thought they were going to go public. Instead, they started buying company stock at 64 billion.
So
why are they afraid of the public market?
This has been the biggest roller coaster of what you call a blue chip tech company that's private.
What are you hiding?
So they raised at 95 to 100 billion, which was their peak raise of primary capital.
Yeah.
It was trading at $350 billion in secondary market at the peak of 2021.
Can you imagine the schmuck that bought that?
Then it traded at 25 billion 18 months ago. And now they're buying stock at 65 billion.
Wow. Why won't they go public? What are you afraid of? Something is fishy here.
I was actually texting with a friend and I was just like, are these guys just the Collison bros? Everyone worships them, right? They're the genius boys. They're the genius kids. And do people realize it's just a payment processing company?
No, they do not.
Like Zuck is a genius. What Zuck did is magical.
Yeah.
There's very few magical founders. Bezos, magical. Elon, magical.
Yeah.
Is a payment processing company magical?
No, it's not. You know what my feeling is? When they said, I was talking about Stripe, I'm like, this is a credit card processing company. Do you know how many schmucks I know are in credit card processing?
And they're
not even the biggest.
And the schmucks aren't educated either.
No, and they make bank. This company doesn't even make money.
Yeah, I mean, I think people got confused with listening to people on podcasts and YouTube.
I tell you, those guys did way too many podcasts.
Like, why are they talking about LVMH's business on a podcast?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It has nothing to do with you, bruh. Unless you're fucking payment processing fucking Louis Vuitton, there's no reason for you to be talking.
Yeah.
Leave my name out of your mouth.
Yeah, Bernard should do a diss track.
All right, moving on. Winners, losers, content. What is your winner of the week?
Winner coupon.
All
Double
right.
beat. Beat on revenue, beat on profits, growing at 26% at a clip of annual run rate, almost $30 billion. Profitable. One of the only businesses, I think at scale, that has like the Amazon model that is delivering 10% EBITDA margins.
Great. Good. Big win.
$5 billion of cash. Just bought Farfetch. The earnings call I listened to yesterday, all anyone asked about was Farfetch.
They didn't even.
No one even care about that.
It does no business though.
And they paid nothing.
Yeah. So who cares?
I don't know why. It's just like
It's just
the
a name. It's a sexy name. It's a big name.
Every analyst, I was listening to the call, like JP Morgan,
Like, what are
Goldman.
you going to do with this shit?
Yeah. What's the plan?
Yeah.
Even though it has no effect on their core business.
No. Zero.
And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it literally doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's interesting.
It's funny how people care about the one name.
One name. It's a big name. Farfetch is a big name. My winner is similar, is a company and a stock, Revolve.
Yeah.
They announced their earnings. They beat on revenue, beat on profit. Stock was soaring today. I think it was up 22%.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big jump.
Big jump, 22%.
Congrats to
So
the Revolve
congrats.
team.
That is just flawless execution. Continue to deliver profits and grow in a very tough environment. So congrats, guys, on that big win. All right, loser.
Loser. I had to think about this. I think the loser is really anyone doubting crypto at this point. Because if you think about the capital that's just flowing in, you have to just stop being a hater. Jamie Dimon publicly talks about it all the time, how crypto is terrible, but JP Morgan's telling everyone crypto's going to go up.
Yep.
And it's undeniable at this point. I think Bitcoin's at like a 1 point some odd $1 trillion asset class. Ethereum's at over $500 million. Just stop hating.
Yeah, that's fair. It's here to stay.
Yep.
My loser is French Laundry Gavin Newsom.
What happened? He's not taking over?
No. This guy signed a law in September. It was called the Fast Food Accountability and Standards Recovery Act, so that it would raise the minimum wage from $16 an hour to $20 an hour for all fast food workers. Really tough for businesses. It happened. People had to accept it. There was a carve out, an unusual one in that exempts chains that bake bread and sell it as a standalone item, which is Panera Bread, which is a donor to French Laundry Gavin Newsom. Loser. Big fucking loser.
Might be our president.
Well, you can play this back when he is.
Yeah.
What do you got to say about that?
In terms of what?
You like that? You like that his donor Panera Bread was exempt from the law?
If you think about what's going on with every politician, you can have
You're talking about our next president.
I mean, the one that's favored right now has federal.
But that we expect from him. Democrats want to be on this high horse that they're morally more superior than Republicans. I'd rather say, you know what? We're all in the mud, motherfucker. I'm exempting Panera Bread. You're exempting, the Russians. Whatever. At least it's all out that we're all playing this game.
Sure.
Content of the week.
I haven't watched it, but everyone's talking about it.
What is it?
Love is Blind.
Yeah, someone told me about it.
Everyone's just talking about it. It's in like multiple group chats. I haven't watched it.
What is it?
What is it? A dating show? What is it? Do you guys know?
Is it about blind people?
No, it's definitely not about blind people.
Okay, so they go into separate rooms. They don't see each other. They talk about each other. Then you find out if you fall in love with this person. You don't know who you're talking to. Okay. Good concept. I like it.
It's taken the internet by storm.
Memes.
I mean, anywhere I go, someone asks about it or is talking about it. It's definitely like the zeitgeist right now. Love is Blind. I haven't watched it.
Okay.
So I can't tell you if it's good or not.
I watched some movies on the plane.
Yeah.
Caught some incredible content. A John Cena movie. John Cena might be my new rock.
Didn't we talk about this on Sunday? Freelance?
Freelance. Oh yeah, we did.
You already
That
did.
was my content.
You need new
Fuck.
content.
That was my content. I haven't watched anything else. I watched Mission Impossible.
Oh, here's content. And everyone's going to say I'm the woke guy in the pod, but I was playing Ohio State women's basketball, college basketball, Caitlin Clark. Guess what the entry price is, top deck, to get into
Where's
this
the game?
I don't know if it's Iowa or Iowa State. One of the two.
Okay. I don't know. $60.
$491.
Okay. That's good hype.
It's the most expensive women's college basketball game in history.
You should go.
I'd love to, but I can't be in Iowa or
I
Ohio
think
State.
this year,
Caitlin Clark is more famous than any college basketball player.
I agree.
Period.
I'll be honest. I cannot name.
Other than Bronny.
Yeah, Bronny might be more famous.
He's more famous, but not because of basketball.
No.
She's famous because of basketball.
I cannot name one men's college basketball player. I know Caitlin Clark is.
Yeah.
I know she shoots bomb threes.
Yeah, step back 35 footers.
How come she didn't go to the WNBA?
She's getting NIL money.
They better pay her.
So she has one more year of eligibility.
So she might stay.
She might stay and make 10.
She's
Right?
a superstar.
Because you're not making 10 million in WNBA.
You should get a graduate degree.
Just keep
You
staying.
just go to med school. What's the point? Why go to the WNBA and get $1 million?
She's a killer. I'm a big fan. I
think
see all the clips.
she could transform the sport. Like WNBA has been chugging along. I know people say that it's doing well, but it's
They have Sabrina,
yeah.
which obviously did the stuff.
I mean, even in the NBA All-Star, the only thing that was exciting was Steph versus Sabrina.
Yeah.
The whole fucking weekend sucked.
Yeah, it was stupid.
I did not like the dunk contest. I didn't like the game. Like, it was not good. I honestly was, my eyes were glued to Steph and Sabrina.
Yeah, it was great
Yeah.
content.
Okay, so they got two superstars now. Good. That's great. All right, shout outs from Peter Cheney. Hey fellas, can I give a shout out to my coworker Shireen Hill? It's her birthday and she's a fellow Kathy that has been listening to the pod. Wishing her an amazing birthday, and we are always trying to convert our coworkers into Kathys. Thank you, and
Love
happy
it.
birthday. All right, we got to promote the YouTube. I need you to smash that subscribe button. Leave comments.
Comment.
A lot of comments.
Yeah, talk about drama being a Trump supporter.
Or
Just
on
keep
being
commenting.
woke. A lot of Anand's woke comments.
That's fine. Call
Yeah.
me woke. I'm okay with it. And call drama Trump.
Actually, it's funny because people do comment on what we're talking about. Like, so I first said comment something thoughtful and just say thoughtful. This time comment, if you were going to date, who would you date? Meek Mill or Usher? Pick one.
Male or female.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. You know, I'd probably go with Usher. The music's preference is mine.
Okay.
Who would you go with? Pick one.
I got to put in the comments.
You have to put it in the comments. You bet Anand's comment and who he prefers, Meek Mill or Usher, in the comments.
Usher's a great dancer.
Yeah, you're going with Usher. I know who you're going with. You don't know any Meek Mill songs. We're going to jump around in his room.
Remember when we saw Meek at the Cash Money party?
Yeah.
And I just took a picture of Drama and Meek, and
Yeah.
I asked Drama, I was like, who is that?
Yeah.
It's like, it's
All right, we will see you back here Sunday night. Have a great week.